with this and then play some Hex Standard, I think. Oh no! Oh no, our opponent's not going to play. I started recording and everything. That's sad. Oh, I'm queued right back up. God bless. Oh, we're going to get a tease again? Moto, please. Moto, please, please, Moto. Morning, Z. Ah, the old 0200 pair down. It's yeah, it seems pretty reasonable. It's only got one land in it, but it's got an Attune with the Aether, so it's basically a second land. It's good. Good, whatever. Magic Online is an amazing tool for actually playing games of Magic. It is not so great when it comes to actually testing, though. You know? It's the... Ooh, Grixis control. Main deck Thing of the Ice, sure. I guess since they played Thing, I'll just play the Servant of the Conduit, since I'm not going to be able to attack in with this Cub anyways. I guess I could if I played this as a follow-up. Alright, let's see if we get censored. Yep. God, we're gonna die to the O2 player, aren't we? It feels bad. Just taking money out of the system. You'll keep 2 lands on the draw, miss your 3rd land drop every single time. Let's try again. And we still would have missed it even if that other one would have resolved. Yep, alright, good shit. And who's better than O2 at his heart, right? Oh, baby a land. How exciting is that? I don't think they should kick O2 players out of the league, but like, let me wait a minute or two to pair to someone that's like the same rank as me, right? Like, is that really unreasonable? Just like letting me wait, like give me the option to like wait an extra minute or two to like not get paired down to someone that's like way different than my current rank. Should be just like a slider in the client that I can put left and right that like what do I want to prioritize? Do I want my match to pair quickly or do I want to get paired accurately? Sure, we're pretty dead. Alrighty, good stuff. The optimal Magic experience, yep. Alright, well, Warping Wail actually exiles Thing in the Ice. Let's bring that in. Confiscation Coup doesn't seem terrible. Opponent seems like they're playing a control deck, so Tireless Tracker's probably fine. I don't know that Baral's expertise is actually good. It's probably not very good against a control deck on average. Probably some negates are reasonable. Brought in the extra tracker already. Is the World Breaker good enough? Probably not. Because, like, I would take that slider and put it all the way over. I'd wait 5+ minutes to get, you know, 5 to 10 minutes to get matched based on my record. It would make, you know, make it a better tool for testing. Seems reasonable. It's like basically 3 lands. It's got Attune. Double Q's a little clunky, but that's what it is. That's where like people talk about like other games like Hearthstone and Hex and stuff like that. In addition to like not having to pay to play competitive matches on those, like you actually get paired against people of similar ranking on those. Like when I'm playing Hex, most of the time if I'm in Cosmic, I'm getting paired against other players in Cosmic, and it does its best to pair me, you know, towards other players. Yep. So one of the things you definitely don't want to do is assuming something is easy to implement in someone else's code base is generally bad practice. Like, you don't know what their code looks like, and, like, assuming Magic Online is written even, you know, half as reasonably as it runs, like, the code's gotta be a nightmare, right? So, like, I don't think it's fair to just assume, hey, this should be easy, because theoretically it's easy. Like, you don't know what their stuff looks like. I'm not playing in the open. I'm going to cast this Matter Reshaper before I attack, because I would like to pay for a sensor with this Servant of the Conduit. I mean, the players are generally mediocre everywhere, right? Like, okay, so, like, take this for example. I was playing in the Magic Online Challenge event last weekend, and my opponent has an Engineered Explosives on 3, and I have a Leovold and a Baleful Strix in play, and they bolted my Baleful Strix, letting me draw a card off my Leovold before they blew the Engineered Explosives on the Leovold. Like, there's bad players everywhere. There's bad players at your FNM, there's bad players in Magic Online, there's bad players in X-Mage, there's bad players when you play at Opens and Grand Prix. Like, it's not mutually exclusive. Variance in games like Magic goes both ways. So I'm going to go ahead and attack with just the Matter Reshaper here, because I would like to upkeep tap all of my opponent's lands, and I would like to emerge this Elder Deep-Fiend through a sensor, ideally. So I'm going to emerge off of this and tap all of their lands, and I want to be able to pay for a sensor with the Servant of the Conduit. And, like, Magic's a complicated game, and, like, most people that play Magic, we're kind of mediocre. Like, I'm by no means fantastic at Magic. I'm slightly above average, I think it's fair to say, but, like, I'm not some kind of savant. There are plenty of people that play at different levels that are much better than I am. I would like to tap all of your lands, please. But, you know, you don't have to be good at Magic. You just gotta be, you know, marginally better than the idiot you're sitting across from, or slightly luckier. Slightly luckier works, too. Yeah, exactly. I have another Glimmer, sure. This means they haven't had a draw step yet, so unless they have, like, land 1-mana spell, they're gonna have to discard here, which seems fine for me. Ooh. I love banning people who are stupid. They're my favorite. I like banning people in general, but getting to ban stupid people from my chat is, like, an extra happy moment, because then, like, it's like a public service, right? We banned the stupid person. It, like, if you don't understand, like, if you can't objectively analyze what other games are doing that is good, like, you're an unrealistic individual. Like, I don't actually really enjoy Hearthstone as a game. I think they use the digital aspect to add variance to their games in a lot of way that is not enjoyable. But that doesn't mean I can't look at Hearthstone and say, hey, they're doing X, Y, and Z that's actually kind of good. Like, it's possible to be, you know, reasonably objective. So I think I'm just hitting them for 5 here, and then sticking another EDF. And again, I'm leaving this back because when I emerge off a Servant of the Conduit, I need 1 extra mana to play around Censor. We could get disallowed this time around, but that is going to tap all of my opponent's lands again, which seems reasonable for us. Yeah, sure. I didn't want to just play out... Oh, yeah, it's so dumb. I have to float mana with this when I'm sacking it to EDF. Yes, that's probably how Magic works in the technical sense. 2, 3... And now we could get disallowed, but that's fine. We're still going to get to, like, crack them with these dorks, right? And if we draw an untapped land, we kill them with the Slumbering Falls, potentially. Yep. And then, like, worth noting, this doesn't die to Hour of Devastation, because Hour of Devastation does 5 points of damage, so we got that going for us. A Braid, rude. Land. Land, ding. Alright, well, let's play this, and then play this land to make a clue. And crack you for 5. No, that's just, it's such a bad objective. And I love that, like, do you play Magic Online? Like, the people the people that talk about Magic Online and they're talking about, like, the savants playing Magic Online, most part are just, like, their view is skewed because they play Magic Online and they want to think more of themselves. So, like, if I play Magic Online and people that play Magic Online are better at Magic than most people, then that means I'm better at Magic than most people because I play Magic Online. Like, that's the thought process that a lot of people arrive at, it feels like. We're going to Harness Lightning my Elder Deep-Fiend here. Oh, that's an interesting decision, Bruce. I like that, actually. Yeah, that seems sweet. Sure, but, like, just because people at your local store are exceptionally bad doesn't automatically make people in a different area exceptionally better. Like, I believe you that at your particular local game store, the people are worse than the people you play with on Magic Online. If you're talking about the deck playing the white enchantment, I'd be pretty surprised if a deck leaning on 3-mana white enchantments could ever be tier 1. I don't know, it's probably competitive like most things in Modern. Modern's kind of the format where you can just, like, play whatever you want and mix well and probably do okay. I would not argue with the fact that at random LGSs across the country, players are probably worse than people that play a bunch of Magic on Magic Online. That being said, like, you might have to explain to your opponent on Magic Online how certain mechanics of the game work in paper. They might not actually know, but Magic Online doesn't let them mess it up. Like, the fact that they have the rules interfacing, they're holding their hand, doesn't mean they actually understand how the game works fundamentally. It just means they're actually not allowed to mess it up. Seems okay. It's a little slow and clunky against Censor, but, like, Censor's pretty good. If we draw, 2-drop's actually a pretty good hit, because that means we can play the 2-drop on 2, and then potentially get that censored and then start playing out our 3s. Huh. Do I want to just play a turn behind and make Censor dead? Now that I hit the 4th land, I think I do. Yeah, they didn't use their mana this turn, so I'm not going to let them censor anything. I'm just going to not use my mana too. It's my favorite card from the new set. Does Elder Deep-Fiend count? I don't know. The new set doesn't seem particularly good. A Braid, probably, or Hour of Devastation. Yeah, and it's easier to make mistakes when playing on the computer a lot of the time, too. Like, in addition to, like, my streaming distractions, like, there's easy... You don't have a lot of distractions going on when you're playing on the computer, when you're playing in paper, too. Do the ices count? Yeah, can I name Sapphire Ice? Sapphire Ice is probably my favorite thing out of the new set. Yeah, potentially. They're definitely been, like, the power level has been turning downward, which is overall a good thing, right? Like, this set being weak means that, like, we're probably on, like, a power down slant, and, like, that happens in Magic on occasion. It's not unreasonable. Like, you can't have the power level of cards linearly just increasing, because then, like, power creep is unreal. And again, I'm just going to make sure Censor's not a card that doesn't have a text box this game. This is a Glimmer. Yep, so we're in a kind of medium spot. I'd like to draw like a Negate. Thing in the ice, sure. Hey, look at that. Ask and you shall receive. Alright, I'm gonna attack with this. Free attack into a decision. Yep. I'm just gonna go ahead and pass the turn here, and I'm not gonna stop during my opponent's upkeep, but I think I'm gonna stop during their end step. I want to try and take them off of all of their blue mana so I can resolve this Confiscation Coup on their thing in the ice. Sure. Second thing is a little annoying. Huh. I think I still want to take them off of this. I guess Confiscation Coup gets worse when they have multiple. I think I want to just grind a little bit here. To get this attack in now. Just gonna get my extra damage in here. I think this is fine. Like, we don't have the negate up here, but I think that's fine. Hitting a 7th land's pretty important here, because it means once these flip, we're going to be able to Confiscation Coup with a hub. You need diaper change? Yep. Sanctum of Ugin is Dece. This means we can attack into a Gear Hulk here. I'll close this game pretty quick. They only have 2 cards in their hand. Sure. And again, I'm just gonna like push damage here, I think. Plus, I don't want them to kill my thing, so let's just make sure that doesn't happen. I think I'm just going to stick this Rogue Refiner. They already cycled 2 sensors. And this way, when they flip these things, when they flip the things over, I'm going to get to draw another card with this. They need to cast 3 spells here, and these Tireless Trackers are, like, killing them fairly quickly. If they cast Hour of Devastation here, it's sweeping the entire board, so I think that's fine. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to leave up Negate here, but, like, honestly, we could maybe lose this game through that even. And, like, I feel like I'm pretty far ahead here with that happening. Because, like, even if they have, like, a follow-up, even if they have, like, a follow-up Gear Hulk here, I have a Confiscation Coup for that. Did someone say something about Eternal? Is that why you're commenting on it? I don't think I saw anyone say anything about Eternal. Alright, go ahead. We're a little flooded here, but, like, a bunch of our lands, like, do stuff, and they drew cards from these Tireless Trackers, so... Not in the worst spot. Harness Lightning, sure. Alright, so if I activate this... costs me this much mana, which means I can't Confiscation Coup this turn. I guess I'll lead on cracking this and see what we get. An EDF. So, yeah, that's probably fine. That EDF is going to get another EDF with the Sanctum of Ugin. Yeah, I think I'm just going to run headlong into a potential Gear Hulk here. If he's got it, he's got it. Yeah, they don't have it. Sweet. And then next turn we can just cast this as an 8-mana Squid Daddy. Oh, set 2 for Eternal comes out today. Okay, sweet. Well, I'm glad they're still making sets. That's good. Rogue Refiner. Is that reasonable? So I'm playing this land out. I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, I think I want to just... play EDF here. I don't think I'm doing it during my opponent's upkeep. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and pass and let them do their thing. My problem with all of these CCGs is that they're all mostly the same. Like, I'm interested in like playing a game as like a competitive outlet, and like most of these games don't allow me to do that. Like they don't have actual competitive offerings. All right, I think I'm supposed to negate this and then pull the trigger on this Deep-Fiend during their upkeep. Like letting them get +2 cards here seems really bad for me, especially when they're getting some selection on them. All right. So even if he has a counter for this, it has to be the last card in their hand, and I'm gonna get another Squid Dad out of my deck. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'm supposed to bring in... I'm probably supposed to bring in the World Breaker, not only because it's a grindy threat, but also because, what's the word I'm looking for? It exiles Gear Hulks. That seems like a fantastic reason to bring it in. So I misboarded. I just like, should probably always just bring them in against Gear Hulk decks. Let's just grab another Squid Dad here. Alright, here's my 5/6. But like, what does competitive mean? Like, you're talking about the game being competitive. Does that mean I can play a tournament from my home for cash? Does that mean I can go somewhere and play a tournament? Like, people talk about these games being competitive, and what they actually mean is not competitive at all. Like, their definition of competitive is that, like, it has a ladder that you get to play on for in-game prizes. And, like, you know, coming from, Magic, where we have, like, actual tournaments, like, that's not competitive in the slightest. Should we have tapped the swamp? Oh, yeah, probably. They only have 1 black source. Okay, yep, they're dead. Okay, we beat the O2 pair down. All right, I'm going to put the deck up here really quick, and I'm going to run and change a diaper. I'll be right back. We're going to play 4 matches. I mean, Magic Online has tournaments that you can turn prizes into cash for, and Hex TCG has tournaments that literally send you a check when you do well in them. Like, so there's actual competitive events that exist on the computer. But, like, 100,000... So, like, Hearthstone has $100,000 tournaments, too. But, like, the actual tournaments that pay you money in games like Hearthstone and Gwent aren't realistic for people to actually play in. Like, they're for, like, the top 1 or half or fraction of a % of the player base. It's not like I can pay a $20 entry fee or a $15 or $10 entry fee and play a Gwent cash tournament. It's not like... They both pay... Yeah, exactly. And actually, Pokemon Online's actually really freaking... All right, I'm going to go change a diaper. We'll continue ranting about why games aren't actually competitive when I get back. There isn't a competitive scene, though. There isn't, like, so things are only competitive if people feel compelled, like they're getting meaningful things. Like, they're not actually trying if they're not, like, actually working towards winning something. So, like, Magic Online. I can play a Magic Online challenge every single weekend in 5 different formats, and, like, first place in that event is something I'm going to be able to turn into, I don't know, probably $500+ cash every single time. Hex. I can pay $15 every single weekend and get a $500 cash prize for first place, plus, you know, another $100 or so worth of in-game stuff if I win that tournament. This weekend, I'm playing a event in Hex that the first place is $2,000 that 128 players qualified for. Like, those are like actual competitive events where people are like actually going to be trying because there's something like semi-relevant on the line. If like the prize for you winning your match is like some random commons and uncommons or some dust or whatever, like, sure, you can call the ladder competitive and whatever, but like the people aren't actually competing for something meaningful, so most of them don't care. It's like playing a game of poker where no one paid a buy-in. People are just like shipping all in every turn, every go round, like, because they don't give a shit. They didn't even put anything in the pot. There was a donation. Well, thank you very much for the donation. I'm going to go pull up my Streamlabs dashboard here so I could read the message. Sorry, I was on dad duty. My donation thing doesn't say there was a donation. Alright, anywho, this ain't super reasonable. Opponent's on the play. It's a little sad, but we get to go Attune into Cub into Matter Reshaper. Get a second... a second green or a second blue? It's probably second blue, right? All colorless hand's a little awk. It's probably second blue. I don't actually have any double green cards in my deck. I feel like the people that tell me like these games where there's no reasonable prizes are competitive are just like the same people that like tell me their free-to-play game is free-to-play friendly. It's like, it's not really free-to-play friendly. Like, it has a free-to-play option, but like the amount you actually have to play to like have reasonable cards in those games is like unrealistic for like anyone with an actual life. Okay, sure. Opponent's gotten a clue here. Scrounger 2. Yeah, this is a pretty good start from the opponent here on the play. Alright, stop with the spam in chat or I'm going to ban you. And hey, you got lucky. I just gave you a warning. I don't usually give warnings. But like that comparison is like saying like, hey, my high school softball team is really competitive because it's more competitive than Little League. Like, that doesn't really translate. I think I'm going to play Matter Reshaper here and set up to Squid Dad next turn. Do you consider Hearthstone competitive? I mean, by and large, it's really not, right? Like, the actual competitive aspect of Hearthstone, well, so there is a competitive access to Hearthstone because they have large tournaments, but the competitive aspect of Hearthstone isn't obtainable for a large number of players. Like, I can't just like go play a Hearthstone tournament from my home. Like where do I sign up for the Hearthstone tournament that they send me a check if I do well in? Like, does it exist? Gideon. I always have the Gideon. Alright, the Squid Dads might be able to punch us through this Gideon. I guess I could actually kill the Gideon this turn, right? Yeah, I can kill the Gideon this turn with my Longtusk Cub. A pretty big hit here. No, just that's great. I'm glad they didn't attack with the scrap heap. So we're gonna use the Squid Dad on our turn to punch through this Gideon, I think. We're gonna go basic waste, emerge off of this, tap these Dorkos, and then ship the Cubby Bear into the Gideon. Into the Gidfather. And I think I want to go get another Squid Dad here. 2, 3. Jace with the 4-month resub. A third of a year. Welcome back. I appreciate the continued support. I think I want to sacrifice this. Yeah, I have like Rogue Refiner and Tireless Tracker. Like I'm drawing a card with... Yeah, they don't even have tournament. They don't even have tournaments in their client, right? Like, it's not. Is it a competitive game? They don't even have tournaments in their client. Like, how is that competitive? If our opponent has unlicensed Disintegration, we could be in a bad spot here. But we can't really afford to play around that. We need to just like take their Gids off the table. So let's do that. If I tried Shadowverse, so why should I try Shadowverse? Sell me. Like, it's their H.R. Rollins $5 donation. I misread GUC and Cuck, was very confused with the deck choice for this format. Thanks for the donation, I do appreciate it. Sorry for the confusion. And like again, like there's a lot of these digital card games have like really there's the unlicensed Disintegration, so we're basically dead. They get to crew this, and then yeah. And like the gameplay in a lot of these games is like plenty reasonable. Yeah, probably just did. Yeah, I think we probably would have been okay if we'd been on the play this game, but opponent's curve with the Gideon into the removal there is probably just going to be a little bit too much for us. We need to draw, like, land here, untapped land. Alright, and if we hit, like, Baral's Expertise exactly next turn, we could be okay. So this turn, I'm going to go ahead and crack them with the Longtusk Cub, and then next turn we can Elder Deep-Fiend them off of all of their attackers. And then potentially if we hit Baral's Expertise to have them pick all their stuff up, we could be okay. I think I'm just going to give this turn in my energy for one more point of damage here. It missequenced the tokens, huh? So again, if they have another unlicensed integration, we're likely just dead. If they sequence correctly. I said if they get trigger happy and just like unlicensed integration this now, I'll be okay. Veteran motorist, yep. Yeah, but there's a difference between viewing a game as a monetary investment and then viewing a CCG and going, playing a CCG isn't worth $200 to me or $300 or whatever large amount of money it's going to cost to build a few different competitive decks in that game. Like, the fact that actual TCGs have the investment aspect means that you get to be able to change decks more freely because your things are worth something, so you can swap back and forth. Like, that's real and relevant. All right, let's hit Baral's Expertise here like a professional. Get back in this game. If we don't hit Baral's Expertise, we're dead, so. And we're dead. Alright, so double check. I guess, no, because if I hit, I was going to say I could draw a EDF off of this, but I don't actually have another, I don't actually have another blue source. Yeah, exactly. It's not strictly about the investment. It's about the fact that I can, like, I'm not spending this astronomical amount of money in the game. Because, like, you're not getting 100% of the money you put into any TCG back out of it, right? But I can get some of it back out, which means, like, my actual cost to play the game wasn't this obnoxious number. Vintage is not cheap on Magic Online. I guess cheap is relative. It's cheap compared to paper vintage, I suppose. I think this is how I want to board. I think this is how I want to board. I'm bringing in Deliverance, Plummet, and Appetite for the Unnatural. There could be merit to, like, Coup, or, like, leaving the trackers in, but I feel like this matchup's not about the grind for us. I'll be right back. I'm going to run that diaper that has poop in it upstairs. It kind of stinks, believe it or not. I thought we didn't like EDF in this deck yesterday. I'm not sure if you're trolling or just, like, misremembering what happened. EDF is great. It's part of the reason to play. It's, like, the reason to play this deck. I mean, most Magic events are negative EV, to be fair. It's a very, very powerful Magic card. We get to play, like, Matter Reshaper and Rogue Refiner, so, like, we get to play, like, great cards with it. So, like, I feel like we're never going to get to 7 mana. Okay, not going to say never. We're rarely going to get to the point where we can Eternalize that card, and, like, casting Careful Study on a creature seems much worse than these other 3s, and definitely seems worse than Tireless Tracker. Like, it's not card advantage, it's card disadvantage. How about off Matter Reshaper? Matter Reshaper is wonderful. This is why we board in the Plummet and the Artifact Destruction. See, like this. How about if we do this? Play this, and the next turn we can do this. You should be playing Magic because you enjoy playing it. That's the TLDR. No, and if your goal is to make money, I would recommend getting a job. Alright, they're gonna attack us here. We draw untapped blue source here. We can attack them for 5, which would be nice. Alrighty. So that means we're not attacking with this one. I'm going to go ahead and upkeep and tap their 3 lands in this Heart of Koran. I feel real bad when we get what's it called? Unlicensed Disintegration, but, you know, risk of the job. My opponent's complaining about turn 4 Elder Deep-Fiend. Their deck has the card Gideon, Ally of Zendikar in it. You are not allowed to complain about the fact that I had an Elder Deep-Fiend opponent. Ooh, that's a good one. I'd like to draw an untapped land next turn. Kindly suggest they pick their shit up. It's unfortunate for us. I mean, I guess I'm attacking with this. Sure. So I'm gonna go Servant of the Conduit into Longtusk Cub here. Yep. I guess we have our Servants of the Conduit, right? I wonder how much we're going to get cracked for here. They went top, bottom there. So we're taking at least 5, possibly 8. They might leave this back to block with this. Hopefully they leave this back. It's unfortunate for us. I think I'm just going to 5 here. I'm just going to go to 5. It's a little bit risky. They have things like Cut Ribbons in their deck and Unlicensed Disintegration. He says his opponent casts Unlicensed. God, fuck you, opponent. Just like complaining about my turn 4 Elder Deep-Fiend. It just like has all the things. It's so fucking annoying. Pardon my French. Classic. Complain about your opponent's draw while you have the stones. Alright, did do another unlicensed disintegration. I complained I had my 4 of and my one of my 8 of and then like some lands. Just sure. Yep. Alright, on to the next one. So, let's roll it off and move on. I'm not going to the Open this weekend. It's a cash hex tournament on Saturday that's much better value than traveling 5 hours to play in an Open. I am very, very lucky. I'm not going to dispute the fact that I'm lucky with anyone because that's just like a fact. Pretty lucky. Have a 4 of it, our opener. Alrighty. Do I own any Magic decks? I did. I actually just sold the last Magic deck I actually still owned in paper. I owned most of Kiki Cord for a very long time. I no longer own that. I want to play this one. It gives me some extra power for the Cubby Bear. Lets me draw a card towards hitting my land drop here. Okay, sweet. Attack with this. I'm not going to dump power into this just yet, I don't think. I kept 1 Court of Calling, a Kiki Jiki, and a Restoration Angel. And my 4 Birds of Paradise, because my Birds of Paradise are altered, so they were going to be MP anyways, and I like my altered birds. Oh, an opposing Elder Deep-Fiend strategy. I have them here, actually. I can show the camera. Oh. They're my Birds of Paradise, and they're beautiful. Yeah, how do cards work? Yeah, you know. Physical cards, they're so awkward. Aren't they nice? Aren't they nice? Well done. Well done. Beautiful, beautiful Bird of Paradise. 8th edition English non-foil birds. For those asking, the alter on those birds is 8th edition English birds don't come in non-foil. Alright, so when we get squid dadded here, we're going to be really sad. I'm going to flashback this K return. Yep. Land, please. We really need to draw land this turn. Yep. Never ever. Okay, so let's go Attune with the Aether for a forest, and then play a Matter Reshaper. And then next turn we can Baral's Expertise, hopefully. They're going to get to Haunted Dead plus Prized Amalgam bring back here. I can use the Matter Reshaper to chump this Elder Deep-Fiend for the turn. Alright, we have to hit something with this. Oh, I mean, that's technically something. Alright, now they get to bring... They had exactly K-Return in their hand, so they get to... And they had their hub to cast it. So now they have lethal. Alright, are we changing anything? I think Ku's too slow for this matchup. I don't think we actually board here. I guess Spatial Contortion isn't particularly good. It's like okay, it like kills their things. Maybe a Tireless Tracker is better than one of these, just so we have more threats. Could see that being fine. I don't really think I want any of these other cards here. I would love to play first. It's okay. It's like not terribly exciting, but it's got like Matter Reshaper and Rogue Refiner here on the play. We also have a Sanctum of Ugin, so like if we hit a Elder Deep-Fiend to play, we're gonna get a second Elder Deep-Fiend. Like Minister of Inquiries. They're like all in on this mill plan. Longtusk Cub is probably the best draw in our deck, followed by Servant to the Conduit there, just like something to do on the second turn. Opponent's deck seems neat. Champion of Wit seems good in a deck like what my opponent's playing because they want cards in their discard pile. Alright, good night, my sweet Longtusk Cub Prince. I'm gonna go ahead and play Matter Reshaper here, I think. I guess playing Rogue Refiner gives me a better chance to find Deep-Fiend on 4. Yeah, I'll do that. They haven't hit... Oh, they do have Haunted. I was like, they haven't hit a Haunted Dead yet. No, that's a lie. Lie detector test determined that was a lie. Alright, attack with this. If Prize Amalgam, Blue Source EDF, we could be in trouble. I don't know that I'd go as far as to call Serum Vision's great, but it's definitely the most playable card we have of that type left. Playing Legacy like ruins you in terms of cantrips in Modern. You're just like, man, we just don't get any nice things. Play this out. Next turn we can... If they don't... So they're Haunted Dead here. Oh, weird. Okay, so they don't have Price Amalgam. That's good for us. Think I'm willing to trade this here? Yeah, they're not willing to trade. Cope with the fact, yeah, right? I think I'm just attacking with these two. I feel like they might put this other Haunted Dead into play this turn, and if that's the case, I want to wait to Baral's Expertise. Plus, if I wait a turn to Expertise, I can play around, interesting. Did not think they were going to trade there. Huh. If I wait a turn to Expertise, I could play around, Censor. Oh, good. We're casting Prized Amalgam. That's good for me. Alright, so... That's a pretty good one. Alright, so... Thoughts on jamming Amet's Eternals. I'm going to be honest and say I don't know what that card does. Sometimes Baral's Expertise doesn't have anything to put into play, and it feels like a little bit bad, but it's probably fine. We have to change Squid Dads here off this Sanctum. Alright, so now we know they don't have... Now we know they have a Prized Amalgam in their hand. So we're going to bring another Spirit back here, and we're probably going to double Spirit on my Matter Reshaper, which I think is fine. Double chumps. Okay. Oh, that one. Yeah, that card seems fine. So I had someone play that against me in Zombies yesterday, and it seemed really good. The $sign just usually indicates that you're typing into a prompt of some sort. So we're planning to EDF me here. So I'm just going to EDF them inside of combat here so I can block one of their idiots. And this will probably mean they need to EDF now because they likely have an EDF in their hand. I would love to go get another Elder Deep-Fiend. Thank you for asking. Battlefield is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That'll be 8. So I can just like cast this Deep-Fiend for 8 next turn. Sounds so good. Squid Daddy is here and he's hangry. Actually, they're dead to this Oasis, right? Yeah, Desert Lethal. Desert Lethal. And again, I don't think I really want to board anything. I feel like maybe the Spatial Contortions are good enough just because they keep them off of emerging Elder Deep-Fiend. Maybe that's good enough. Can like randomly push some extra damage here. What do we think? Do we like this extra Spatial Contortion? Yeah, let's do it. It's pretty marginal either way, I think. You tell me what's Batman and what's not Batman tricks. See, it gets to make its land drops, which is pretty important in this matchup, I feel like. Minister of Pain. That being said, we're never going to draw a spell with this hand. I'm going to feel pretty bad about it, but it is what it is. Alright, they had a Haunted Dead. So if they have Black Source... Prized Amalgam, they're going to have 6 power on the second turn. Good, clean living. Scoundrel, sure. And that's technically a spell. I suppose. One could argue this is technically a spell. Yes, that is exactly what these are. These are untapped dual lands in this deck. And, like, they happen to have random upside sometimes. Even if that upside is marginal, a random upside that's marginal is fine. Alright, well, their hand's not doing a lot. And they've milled over 5 lands. We're going to miss a land drop. It'd be great if they did. I think ramp for 5 could be good in standard. Maybe. That's annoying. That's annoying. Oh, Magic is so frustrating sometimes. Oh, TCGs. How frustrating are you? Yep. Alright. I think I'm just gonna hit them with this. This kills my guy. Which is sad. Oh, we're blocking. Sure, I guess. I guess they're not gonna use energy from it. They're gonna use their energy on this Aether Hub anyways, so... I know Fate Weave and not land to the top, right? And, like, this is a good example, like... Last season, I was playing this deck with Oath of Nisas instead of Attunes because I had Tamiyo in the deck as the 4-drop as opposed to Thought-Knot Seer. And, like, this game's just, like, a great example. Like, Oath of Nissa actually isn't a land in the mid to late game a lot of the time when you don't need it anymore. Whereas this game, like, this Attune with the Aether is always only a land. At least our opponent's stumbling. The problem here is that Screw usually beats Flood. Yeah, it's really kind of awesome how much Hex has, like, expanded on, like, the ability to, like, actually play games with their digital design space. It's kind of just great. Are we killing my thing, or are we putting Scrap Heap Scourger back into play? Are we making Haunted Dead, maybe? We're just Haunted Deading. Okay, I mean, they're out of energy now, so they technically don't have Black Battle left, so, like, maybe I can win this game? Because this can be a 4-4 as of right now. We're taking 6 here, but, like, next turn I could just start leaving back, and then they only have this in the air. And, like, if I draw spells before they draw black mana explicitly, I could be okay. Weird that we left this back. Okay, they drew a black source. That means we get to draw a spell. Okay, that's technically a spell. Technically a spell is the best kind of spell. Alright, attack with both of these. I'm gonna leave this one back. I think I'm trading this with Scrap Heap Scourger at this point. I'm just gonna go ahead and spatial this now, so that way they don't have a chance to put an EDF into play. I'm gonna trade this here, because they have to use their black mana to Sinister Concoction this turn, I think. I'll feel a little bit bad if we draw exactly EDF, but we have a lot of not EDF draws in our deck. Like, this takes the pressure off the table. I'm at 9, so I kind of need to take the pressure off the table. Spell. I mean, I guess that's a land spell, technically. Drew Prized Amalgam. Drew Black Source into Prized Amalgam. Man. Alright, I mean, that was almost a spell. We were gonna get there. Yep. You know. You know, that's the game sometimes. Like, we kept a 5-lander, and our deck has 30 mana sources in it, and sometimes those aren't going to pan out. Like I said, I think that keep is fine, because objectively speaking, like, our opponent's deck has Elder Deep-Fiends in it, so, like, the easiest way for us to lose the game is, like, we lost in that first game where, like, we stumbled and died, and then they Elder Deep-Fiend us to punish us for stumbling further. So I think that was a reasonable keep, but, you know, it's not always going to pan out. And, like, the fact that we flooded there doesn't make the keep objectively right or wrong. We're going to finish this league out, so we'll play this match. If we win this match, we'll play the last one. And then, we're going to play some Hex, where we have reasonable card selection in Standard. Playable, powerful card selection in Standard. And we get to play with Fate Weave. Fate Weave is so great. Just makes my life so much better. My life is a better place because Fate Weave exists. No, I don't think so. Like, and like, people do that all the time. They're like, they see you lose to a deck, and like, that's why you have to be like objective about the games you're playing. Like, that game there, like, the only argument you could make is like, maybe I shouldn't keep that hand, but like, the rest of our decisions were fine. Just be like, you run poorly in one game doesn't mean you should change your deck for a matchup. Hex is a fully digital TCG that's very similar to Magic, but because it's only on the computer, it's able to use the digital design space to kind of reduce the variance that the TCG has. Which is enjoyable. We don't actually know what's in the format, so like playing narrow sideboard cards where you don't know what's going to be popular and powerful is probably silly. If I was playing the week 1 tournament this weekend, I don't think I'd put Graveyard Hate in my sideboard. I don't think there's enough Graveyard Hate. The old double check land into fast lands. Target opponent exiles a creature he or she controls. Alright, well I guess we'll exile this one. And that's this one gives me a trigger when it dies. Play this out. Grab a second green. This is definitely a game where, like, Baral's expertise is a touch awkward, right? Like, we don't have anything to pick up, and we don't have anything to put into play, even if we did. Champion of Wit, sure, so they get to draw 2, discard 2. I think I'm just going to Spatial Contortion this. Yeah, I'm just going to race here. I'm going to Spatial Contortion this and then fire up the Lumbering Falls next turn. And then crack them for 6. Now, I think we're going to play the Escalate deck today. The Escalate deck gets to draw a lot of cards, and I enjoy drawing a lot of cards. Plus, you know, playing Storm-esque decks is fun. Yep. Spells are overrated. Let's go, Creature Land. The Creature Lands, go! Maybe we'll draw a good thing to put into play next turn, and we'll get to Baral's expertise, whatever they play, put something into play, and then attack them. I don't actually know. Nah, I'm gonna play the Blood Sapphire one again today. I want to combo kill people. The old main deck Kalitas. The old 5-mana unsummon. Sometimes synergy decks are not great, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you what. How many spells have we had this game? 1, 2, 3, 4. Spells are overrated. That's fine. Quick exit. We'll play some more Grixis Delver this weekend. Make back the money that we lost playing Standard. We should play more Ice, right? I'm going to trade Lumbering Falls plus the Spatial Contortion for this Kalitas. Oh, I didn't count Cub. You're right. We had a Cubby Bear at one point this game. And it's worth noting, like, so the previous iteration of this deck were just blue-green and they played Unsubstantiated as their 2-mana, like, Time Walk. If that had been an Unsubstantiated, we'd have won the game there, right? We'd have, like, Unsubstantiated their thing and then, like, hit them for 3 and hit them for 3 with that, and they'd have died. But the Kalitas gone, it means Elder Deep-Fiend's a better draw now. That brings a creature back, right? Alright. Expertise? I mean, that is technically not a land. I would like the record to reflect that is technically not a land. All right, so Confiscation Coup seems fine. Spatial Contortion seems pretty poor. Tireless Tracker is good against grindy decks. Maybe I want some negates. I don't actually know. They're probably more of a tap-out control deck. Split the difference on these. Taints Dees. We draw an untapped land in 2 draw steps. We get to turn 3 Thought-Knot Seer. Howdy, howdy, imbuement. Yeah, Gale's a fine deck. Yeah, it's like a land and a 4-drop. That will be really good if we had a land next turn, though. We have both. We have both. The answer is sometimes this card is better, and sometimes Root Out is better. So you split the difference, so you get the best of both worlds. Oh, baby, we're doing it. Oh, baby, we're doing it. We're going to run out of power here soon, but for now, boy, do we have Thought-Knot Seers. Alright, so we'll take their Tracker, and then we'll take their Ishkanon. We'll kill them before they play this demon. Feels like a plan. Probably taking Champion. I guess they might take a land here. They took the Champion of Wits. That seems greedy. They could have drawn a land for the turn, I suppose. 3 card types in there. Alrighty. Another land's okay. We have all 3 of our lands that only make colorless mana in play right now. Yep. Alright, data land. I'm going to take the Ishkanon. I'm going to smack them for 6. So they have Champion of Wits, Swamp Demon. If we hit an untapped land to do this, I'm probably going to offer the trade with this next turn in the Champion of Wit, so we can, like, crack them for 8. Demon costs 6 mana, so they're kind of far off of that still. It's a very, very good Magic card. There's a reason why this card is good in Modern. Alright, so I don't know any other cards right now. If we miss an untapped land, we're probably going to just do this. Oh, Magic is fun and interactive. Magic is fun and interactive. The old turn 3, 4, 5 Thought-Knot Seer, good enough it seems. Alright, on to the third game, I suppose. On to the third game. Do they show us anything that makes me want anything else? Probably not. Whee! Alright, I don't think so. Magic is fun, magic is fun. Yeah, I mean, this hand's great, right? 2, 3, 4, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, Jacob Jeffrey. Ah, the old Lay the Land. Ooh, Lay the Land. Get a second blue source here. Going to cast Thought-Knot Seer on curve. Sign me up. We get to put a 3/3 into play on turn 2 that grows. Grow, my Cubby Bear, grow. Another backup Cubby Bear for when this first one takes a fatal push. So long, Cubby Bear. You are not meant for this world. You're too good for this world, Cubby Bear. You're too good. This world doesn't deserve you, Cubby Bear. Yep. Keep your wits about you. I think I want a Matter Reshaper. I don't know. This is pretty close here. Matter Reshaper feels better trading with this idiot, so it's probably this one. Trying to dodge Kalitas here. 3 card types in here. 10 out of 10 blocking here. Because, like, their card didn't actually draw a card. It just, like, provided some selection. They don't have Kalitas here, because otherwise they would have played that first, right? Now the question is, am I supposed to Thought-Knot Seer, or am I supposed to go this? I think I'm supposed to Thought-Knot Seer, because they have Delirium and they have Ishkanon mana next turn. If we get Grasped, we feel a little bit bad, but I think the fact that they could Ishkanon next turn means we're supposed to do this. Okay, so they must have hit the Kalitas off of They must have hit the Kalitas off of their strategic planning. Scarab God's kind of annoying. I guess it's smaller than Elder Deep-Fiend, though. Yeah, definitely want to get rid of this Kalitas. They get to grapple at end of turn here and put a land into their hand if they want. So that way they can cast the Scarab God guaranteed. I mean, it's always something, right? It's hard to justify buying into Standard now because there's a rotation. It's hard to justify buying into Standard later because, like, these cards, like, Standard is always changing. Like, it just is. If they return to Forest to their hand, I assume, so they can play the Scarab God out. We get to go Refiner into Longtusk Cub here, and then with the Sanctum of Ugin and the Elder Deep-Fiend in our hand, we might be able to... I guess Doomfall could take the Elder Deep-Fiend, and that would make us feel bad. It's never a good time to buy into Standard. Oh. Sure. Alright, that's fair. Guess I could have seen that coming. There might be a sweet Deep-Fiend deck somewhere in Modern. I'm going to do this. I'm going to play Cubby Bear, and then next turn we will play our Lord and Master Squid Daddy out. It's annoying. Alright. We got another squid. Okay. Untapped land would kind of be nice. That way we can go Rogue Refiner into squid. Tireless Tracker. I guess I could take another shot at an untapped land here. But the Scarab God gets into play. We're going to be kind of up a creek. Got some choices here. This needs a bunch of energy to do it, right? 4? Yeah. I think the conservative play here is pass, and then upkeep, tap this, this, and this. And then just start Elder Deep-Fiending them. They just need to, like, start applying pressure, I think. They have Scarab God and one card we don't know right now. Because, like, if they get Scarab God into play, our Elder Deep-Fiends become much worse. Because, then they can start using the mana that we're trying to take away from them to make zombies. What's up, dude? What do you need help with? You want that? I don't think I want to crack the Sanctum of Ugin just yet. Because if we draw an untapped land next turn, I want to be able to go Rogue Refiner, second Elder Deep-Fiend. So I'm going to do this. And we hit the untapped land. So put a stop at their upkeep again here. Go and attack them with this. And then during their upkeep, I'm going to go ahead and cast this Elder Deep-Fiend off of this guy. So they're going to get an energy. And this time, I'm going to go ahead and crack the Sanctum and get another Elder Deep-Fiend. I guess, do I want to just go get a Thought-Knot Seer here? I keep forgetting that that's a thing we could do. We can get any colorless creature with this. So do we want another EDF, or do we just want a Thought-Knot Seer and just, like, take their Scarab God away from them? I kind of just like Thought-Knot Seer, take their Scarab God away from them. Yeah, I'm going to do that, actually. You have this Hashep Oasis to cast this Dorko. Because, like, if we sacrifice another thing to an Elder Deep-Fiend, they're going to be able to activate this, which seems bad. This is game 3. Evil Liliana, Death's Majesty. Okay. Yeah, just take the Scarab God. And then, do I want to play this tapped? What's the upside to playing this tapped? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so then I could have 8 mana possibly next turn. Yeah, I think I'm just going to play this. Pass the turn. I have anything Liliana can get back down here that matters? Not really. They have a Champion of Wits. I can make a 2-2 with this. Yes, it does. Desert does make Thought-Knot Seer lethal, so we're going to have 3 lethal attackers here, depending on what they do. They're digging. Is it worth it to make Thought-Knot Seer lethal next turn? Alright, got it. On to the 5th one. 2 and 2. See if we can live the 3-2 dream, get our fun points back. While we're waiting for this batch to pop, I would just like to say good morning, afternoon, and good night to everyone, wherever you're out in the world. Thanks for choosing to spend part of your day here with us. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I am a TCG player and content producer, and you've landed here at my Twitch page. Maybe you're watching the replay on my YouTube page in the future. If you're enjoying what you see and you're new, I'd encourage you to show us a little support. Use that follow button there on your screen. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps other people find my stuff. If you're really enjoying what you see, you want to support my content a little bit extra beyond that, there's a couple different ways you can do that. The first is by subscribing on Twitch or becoming a patron on Patreon, or using that donation link down below the stream. You can also support my content by supporting my sponsors. We're all TCG players here, and you're probably going to buy some of this stuff anyway, so feel free to do it with some of the people that help me do this stuff here. MTGOtraders.com will love to buy and sell Magic Online cards with you. If you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout there, you'll save 8% on your orders. InkedGaming.com can help you customize your gaming experience with custom sleeves and mouse pads and playmats and stuff like that. Use code Jeff12 to save 12% on your purchases there. MTGCardMarket.com buys and sells physical Magic cards, as well as a good selection of written content. In fact, my article about this deck should be going up there if it's not already very soon. And then SpareDeck.com offers kind of a unique service. They rent physical Magic cards. You can rent any standard or modern deck from them. If you use code Hoagland7 at checkout there, you'll save 7% on your rental. At any rate, our 5th batch has popped, and we have a pretty reasonable hand here on the play. Actually, this hand's not even reasonable. It's just good, right? It's like turn 2 Servant, turn 3 Thought-Knot Seer. So, it seems good. Seems Dece plus, baby. Yes, in addition to Magic Online, there's Hex music playing in the background. The Hex music helps me avoid copyright issues with my kids' shows playing in the background. So, we also play Hex TCG on this channel, which is a fully digital TCG. And after we finish this league here, we're going to play a little bit of Hex Constructed. Hex has their 5K tournament this weekend, so I want to get some more practice in. Spatial Contortion, sweet. So if this lives, we get to Thought-Knot Seer them next turn. If it doesn't live, we could probably Spatial Contortion whatever their next play is. That's a Greenbelt Rampager deal. I'm gonna Fatal Push my thing too. That's sad. Yep. Alright. God, this thing's gonna be... If we draw an untapped land, so we get to go Thought-Knot Seer into Baral's expertise, put in Thought-Knot Seer. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. You have a snake. I think I was gonna Spatial Contortion this. They could have Blossoming Defense, but like my mana's tied up for the next couple turns guaranteed, so I might as well just like use it this turn. So they're playing green-black energy. It's a little bit more of an aggressive slant. Untapped land. Alright, get one more shot at it. One last shot. It's a chance to roll. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you will, but you never ever let it go. Only get one shot tonight. It's the chance to roll. Yeah, so that's just the Fatal Push. You have a Rishkarn Swamp. That means if we miss the land next turn, we're not playing this because we want to guarantee it something with this Thought-Knot Seer. Well, there go the VODs. Untapped land. Alright, you know. Play him a Cubby Bear. This is a 5/5 right now. See, opponent thinks they're the beatdown right now. But if we hit an untapped land, they are very much not the beatdown. Okay, so they're literally just casting this to put 1/1 counters on these two things? That's kind of funny. I guess this could only be a 5/5, so like, and it lets this not attack anymore. Thank you, Pala. I appreciate it. Untapped land, please. Ding! Ding! Fries are done. Bum 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 bum. Would you like an apple pie with that? Would you like an apple pie with that? Bum 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 bum. Yeah, I think it's that one. Is that good? Anyone sure? I feel like the jury might be out on whether or not that was good. Alright, crack you for 9. Trigger. I don't know if this deck is good, but I enjoy playing it, so it's probably fun. Dece-. Still dead on board. Do you draw a thing opponent? Oh, Walking Ballista. What if I asked you to pick your shit up again? Would that be okay? Could you pick your shit up for me? This card's so good against Mardu in green-black, it's kind of unreasonable. Are we changing how we board here? I don't know, actually. I feel like I like all of the cards we have in our main deck. I could see some amount of Confiscation Coup being fine, because it's like a fine piece of removal. Tempo them back to the stone. I could see, like, maybe do, like, this. Doesn't seem terrible. Let's give this a try. Less is more. Alright, we got to bat 500 here. Get our $12 worth of fun bucks back. Ooh, the conspicuous 7-lander. This hand's very reasonable. We'll love to keep with the scry. Looking for a 2-drop here. I'm going to bottom that. That might be a little greedy. I'm sure we're just going to like miss all of our land drops and die. But like, I think bottoming looking for a 2-drop and 2 draws is reasonable. And that's basically a 2-drop. If they play Walking Ballista or Sneck on 2, this is a removal spell. I guess I could also have, like, Rishkar, right? Yeah, there's a Sneck. Alright, I think I want to just kill this preemptively. Davian! With the 14-month resubscription. That's a real long time. Thank you for the continued support. I do appreciate it. Welcome back. I think I'm going to pass here. They get a marginal bonus from this if they play... Well, I guess if they play Aether Hub, I could just kill this in response. I guess Blossoming Defense is kind of a thing, but, like, they're probably going to defense get me at some point. Yeah, so in response to this, I'm going to go ahead and Spatial this. And because this would give them an extra energy if the Snake's in play. I wanted to leave the Snake in play to encourage them to play a Rishkar this turn if they had land Rishkar. No, not second Snack. This is a Walking Ballista. You can tell by how they pay for their mana. Just Magic Online things. Alright. The old double EDF with a Sanctum in hand. I feel good. I knew that I would. Dream Stealer. That player discards that many cards. Wow, that card is rude. That's a rude dude right there. I think you should be playing Summer Braid in your 75. I don't know if it's over Harness Lightning. I don't think they want to trade these two for this. Yeah. Alright, so during my opponent's upkeep, I'm going to Elder Deep-Fiend them, and I'm going to take them off of these 3 lands of the Dream Stealer. I don't think I'm sacking... this, this Sanctum just yet, because I would like to cast Baral's Expertise ideally next turn. So let's go dupe, 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 dupe. I didn't need to pay life to cast that. Good call, Zach. You are technically correct, which one could argue is in fact the best kind of correct. Oh, the way I stacked this. Nah, I'm still not going to stack this turn. I can Baral's Expertise next turn to put this in. You're right. I had blue. I wasn't paying attention. And, you know, little things that, little mistakes that get made more often on Magic Online than in paper. 10 out of 10. So, look, my opponent, like, got to spend mana on this, but like, it's not really a big deal. If we lose this game by 1 life, it's by fault. Let's put a Tireless Tracker into play now, too. I would like you to pick your stuff up, please, opponent. I would like to put this one into play. I'd like to attack you for 5. Sure, you have an Attune. Tempo them back to the Stone Age, as I believe someone put it last game. That's basically what we're doing here. Would love to draw lands, make this Tireless Tracker do some work. So they get to play like 1, maybe 2 spells here, and then next turn we just like tap 4 of their lands with another Elder Deep-Fiend. They need like a Never Return, right? Okay, they had the Never Return. But I mean, like, they have a Fatal Push. Fatal Push doesn't kill my tracker. Would love to draw a land here so we can make a clue. Alright, well, that counts. I'm gonna grab a Forest. I'm going to go ahead and attack with this, and then during their upkeep, I'm going to tap 4 of their lands here and get another Elder Deep-Fiend. Say hello to my friend, the Squid Father. The Squid Father is here. I would like to tap this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. I would love to sacrifice this to get another Squid Father. Second Squid Dad is better than Thought-Knot Seer here, right? Yeah, almost certainly. Or third Squid Dad, technically speaking, I suppose. Then go untapped land 2-drop here. Woo! Alright, got our the funnest of dollars back. Alright. That seems sweet. If you're looking for something powerful and fun to play at FNM this week, this is great. If you're looking for something reasonable to play at the Open, this is 10 out of 10 what I play at the Open. I like this main deck a lot. I think the sideboard's probably 1 to 2 cards off, but feels reasonable and powerful.